start sitting in the chair. Um, and we're just gonna start with some nice gentle movement and warming up kind of things. So let's sit right up on the edge of our chair. And so my sit bones, my tailbone, right on the edge. And I'm gonna take both of my hands, make a little triangle, and I'm gonna place it right on my pelvic bone. And I'm gonna start just by taking some deep breaths. And I want those deep breaths to fill up my lower belly. Just feel it expand and contract. And from here, we're gonna start to find a slight rippling motion. So kind of pushing my spine back and then allowing it to roll forward. So just like a gentle rock from the back to the front of my chair. I like to keep my hands in this position when I'm teaching this, just because from a tactile perspective, it's really great for feeling what is moving where, what's following through as we're going. So letting the spine ripple. And then we're gonna allow it to get a little bit bigger. And a little bit bigger, let the head follow through from the back to the front. Good stuff. One more time. And we're gonna roll the body up. I'm gonna take my hands, I'm using my left hand here, and putting it to my right knee. And I'm gonna place my right hand on my hip. And I'm just gonna draw with those fingertips, and as I draw a line, I'm gonna let my body just twist to the side while keeping my eyes up, and then bring that motion back so I'm facing back to our front. And then out, and in. And out, and in. Let's switch to the other side. Out. So each time we're turning, I really want you to think about what can you see and like how we can see beyond. So imagining the walls weren't here. What can you see outside the walls? How far can you see across the horizon? Good stuff. Allow your body to shake out from that. And we're gonna drop our head forward. And we're gonna do a nice rotation, letting our head swing all the way around, nice and slow. And then we're gonna reverse the opposite direction. Taking our time, easing into all the bits and pieces that may feel like they need some easing today. Other direction. And one more. Good stuff. We're gonna take our hand and we're gonna place it on our chest right here, over to the side. And because my elbow is down this way, I'm gonna visualize this hand that's on my chest, it pulling down and across towards that elbow. And then I'm gonna tilt the head, just to find that extra opening and lengthening in the neck. And switching to the opposite direction, pulling across. I love this stretch and the goodness it presents from in between, right from the top of my ear, really, all the way to my shoulder. And then finally in the center, we'll take both hands, press down slightly, find a gentle release, looking back. Excellent stuff. Okay, from there, we're gonna do a little bit of a knocking motion. So we're gonna take our hands in fists. And we're gonna do a little wake up of the body. So I'm gonna start down my back, down my kidneys, through to my glutes. Then I'll go down the outsides of my thighs, the tops of my thighs, and then the inside from my hips, and then underneath the legs. And we're just gonna keep repeating that pattern a few times. So down the back, into the glutes, outside to the legs. And of course, you have the power to give as much or as little in these knocks as you would like. You might find you have some areas of your body that you might want a little bit more or a little bit less. You might find that you have some areas that you want to spend a little bit of extra time on, and that's okay too. So like if your hips I have really bad hip flexors, so a lot of the times I'll spend a little bit of extra time on my hip flexors, getting them warmed up, knocking at them. Down the back. It's a nice knocking. We're waking up the body. We're waking up any opportunities that can come to us today in our movement journey. And one more time. Down the tops of the legs, sides, and underneath. Wonderful, and that will probably give you like a little bit of a buzzing, humming feeling. And we love that buzzing in our body, that buzzing, humming feeling. That energy is kind of where we want to root our class in, that buzz, that consistent, nice feeling. That's where we want to push our energy level to when we're doing our dance class. So let's take our chairs and move them off to the side. And I'm gonna just adjust my camera a little bit. And I'm also gonna switch from the tunes I currently have on to tunes that are more upbeat. And we're gonna do some pliés. Okay, so we're gonna take our body and, we're gonna start with relevés actually. And so I'm gonna take my feet and put them into a nice parallel position. And you know what, let's bring them together. So my feet are parallel and together. And I'm going to take my hands and I'm gonna put them in this nice V position. So my palms are super open, they're energetic, they're ready to take on all the energy in the space around me. And I wanna think of those arms, they're here, and then we wanna take them and stretch them that extra little bit out. So I'm not sure if you could see that, but if you're looking at it from the back, if I'm here, I wanna take those arms, boom, pull them out. So they're long, the shoulders are pressing down and out of the back. So we're lifting, we're reaching, and we're gonna rise up onto relevé. So we're gonna rise up onto the balls of our feet, and then slowly lower back down. I want you to keep thinking about that squeeze and that energy that's reaching through the arms as we do this. We want the heels to be so light as they come back down that we almost don't put them in the ground at all. Do a couple more. Keep going. I'm just gonna come and take a look at your stance here for a second. Nice job. Really let your fingertips open up. Yeah, that's it. And watch that your hands aren't behind you. Yeah, there you go. Good. Relax, relax. So when I'm doing a lot of these positions, how did that feel?
Long time since I
that's okay. Yeah, no, that's okay. It's always good to come back to the basics. It always is a great way to work all of our muscles at one time. And it's just fun. I love this kind of stuff. So when you are taking these reaches here through the fingertips, be really careful that you're not allowing the line to come back here. Just in front of you. Like, I can see my fingertips in my peripheral vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
And then
so
that
when your side, I was thinking they were more at your side, but they're in front.
Just a little bit, ever so slightly. They're like
in front of your shoulder.
Slightly forward.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's just because if I were to ask you to do anything from your spine at this point, if my hands are back here and then I try to lean, it throws everything, it throws all my body alignment out of proportion. So when I have my arms in a good set position, if I want to add anything, my body's already in line the way it needs to be, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Great. Oh, no problem. No problem at all. So I can't get an angle that works right now where I'm not chopping off half of my body.
That's okay. I think I can see everything.
Perfect. Okay, there we go. I'm in frame. Good. So let's continue to work on these releves, and we're going to add some pliés in, but this time we're going to do them from first position. So just remember, when we do first position, we never need to force first position. That's not what we want. Take the feet from parallel. Let them open up, and wherever your toes land, that's your natural first. We don't want to try and force it, especially if it's something we haven't done in a long time. So opening up to our natural first, and so we're going to find that same energy in the arms, but this time we're going to go beside ourselves instead of down here. So we're beside ourselves, and then I'm going to take my hands and slightly push them forward as if I'm just starting to give someone a hug, but I'm not quite making it. So I'm there. So I'm going to take a nice plie, deep plie. I'm going to squeeze, and then I'm going to rise up. And then down. We're going to keep doing this. And I want you to think about how you can continue to push and grow in this exercise that works for you. So can you plie a little bit deeper? Can you reach a little bit wider? Can you suspend a little longer when we're up in the top position here? And if you ever need to do a refresh, like shake out and then put your arms back, that's totally fine. This stuff can be really, really demanding. And it's overall important that we put listening to our body above everything else. Making sure that we're giving it what it needs. We're going to do one more time. Plie. And stretch. Ooh. Good. Excellent. Shake that out.
Yes, I'm feeling that.
Oh yeah, those ones are always great.
Yeah.
We love that stuff. Let's do a little bit of work. So we're gonna stay in that first position. What kind of floor are you working on right now, Linda? Are you on hardwood? Or are you on carpet?
I'm on hard. Oh, it's carpet. I've got like an area mat rug on hardwood. So.
Okay. Do you have socks on or no?
No, I know I can put socks on.
Yeah, you might want socks if you're working on the area that, either way, socks might be good for this next exercise if you want to grab some.
Okay, I've just got some soft slippers.
Yeah, just that's all you need. Perfect. Sometimes this next set of exercises can get a little sticky, so.
Oh, okay. Okay,
so we're gonna keep working on that great, nice, juicy plie that we've been working on. So I'm gonna keep my feet in first position. I'm gonna hit that nice plie. Let's put our hands back in this position again. And so what I'm gonna think about is sliding my right foot forward, making that weight nice and even, sliding it back. So we're gonna do that with that foot 3 more times. Nice and low, and reaching, I'm energetic. I'm staying low. I'm asking myself, how much can I push myself in this plie position? And in. And then we're going to do our left foot 4 times. And out. And in. I didn't have my socks nearby to grab. My floor is a little sticky today. There we go.
So we're actually transferring our weight on the, we transfer our weight?
Good question. Not so much transferring as you're putting it
moving forward.
Yeah, right in the middle.
Okay.
And let's stretch up for a second. Give a quick shake out. And then we're gonna pop back down. And we're gonna take it this time out beside us, finding a nice wide second and pulling back in. And nice wide second. Remembering if you need to do a refresh of the arms at any time, that's okay. Woo, I feel that burn.
Yes.
And in. One more time. Then we have to do the opposite side. And in. And we're gonna drop to the left side now. And sliding back in. And out. And in. 2 more times. You're almost there. Out. And in. And our last one. Out. And in. And rise on up. Shake that out. Woo! Let it shake out all parts of your body. Oh, it feels good. I love it. Okay. Just trying to think of where I'd like to go with you. Do you have experience with improvisation?
No.
That's okay. Is it something that you're interested in kind of exploring a little bit?
I haven't really thought about it. Sure, we can try it if that's.
Yeah, totally. You know what I'll do? We're gonna start with an exercise that works a little bit on the position of our upper body, and then we'll move it into an improv exercise. So you'll always have like a home to come back to. It won't feel like there's too much available to us, if that makes sense. Because that can be the issue with improv a lot, is that if a teacher's just like, okay, just do what you want to do, it's like, what do I do? I don't know how I want to move. I don't know how you want me to move. So a lot of the times when I do improv, I'll try and give dedicated tasks so that we can focus in on something rather than it just being like this big, gigantic universe. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's start with our chairs again. We'll pull those chairs back out. Awesome. So let's take a seat on our chairs. And again, we're gonna wanna scooch our bodies so that our tailbones are sitting on the front of our chair. Okay. And we're just gonna start with ways that we can essentially drop the head or the spine in various directions. So anytime we do any of these kinds of curves with our body, we want to make sure that the back and the core are staying supported. So I'm gonna turn sideways for a second just so you can see me. But like if I'm doing a drop forward, I don't wanna do this because nothing in my back or my core are supported right now. I wanna think of shifting from my pelvic floor up through my body, stay lifted, squeeze the core. And then if I'm going to do a drop forward, we think about rounding this way and then pulling back up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so we're always supporting our core.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, staying as tall as you can through the core while allowing the head and shoulders to come forward. So if you find that you're folding at the rib cage, then you know you're going too far.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's just try that a few times first. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, and you're just gonna, on your own speed, let this kind of drip down and come back. I like to place, when I'm going forward, I like to place my hands on my knees. It's just like a counterpoint.
Oh, okay.
Slide forward. And then recover. And again. So next I'm gonna take the arms and I'm gonna relax them at my sides. And I'm gonna find that same thing kind of going to the side. I like to do one side multiple times just so I can really kind of sit in the feeling. So again, we wanna think up tall through the body, and it's kind of like I'm a teapot, and I'm tipping the tea. So I'm not actually gonna use this arm, but just like thinking about that idea of like, out and forward.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So I have my arms down at my sides here, and I'm gonna tip myself over, and then it comes back up, really nice. And this kind of comes back to that idea I was saying earlier when we were working on our arm positioning. If my arms were back too far while I'm trying to do this, then it right away, it throws that I'm bending from the wrong spot. So just let your arms relax at your regular side. Don't let them push too far behind. Just letting ourselves drip down. Good. And then let's try that a couple of times to the opposite side. So again, lengthening, long, good. I love that you're letting your head have weight, Linda. Sometimes when I'm teaching these for the first time, people will hold on to their neck. We all carry a lot of tension there. We tend to squeeze a lot of energy there. Sometimes people clench their jaws. It could be the reason that people get a lot of headaches, but you're really allowing it to open up and lengthen down, which is really great.
Yeah. It feels good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last one that we do is my personal favorite. It's when we go to the back. And my hair is this weird length that I can't actually really get it up, but it's still somehow in the way. Try and do this for a second. Because when we go backwards, where people get confused a lot, it's two ways people tend to get confused when we go back. The first is that they just release their head like this, which that crunch for the upper neck and the upper parts of the spine is not great. And the second spot that people will tend to want to let go from is right in the middle of the spine here, where I know I'm wearing a sweater, but I'm sure you can see that like my ribs are up, my back is crunching. It's not something we want. So when you take the idea of going back and think about it from lifting from your sternum instead, it changes everything. So there's 3 steps that I say go along nicely with a high release. The first is making sure that when we're sitting up tall, you think about as if there's a silver thread that's pulling from the top of your head. So already we're lifting from the top of our head that extra bit. The second thing is that we slightly lift the nose and the chin. And then the third being, it's like my heart or my sternum explodes up towards the ceiling. So it goes up, and then my eyes drift back just that little extra bit more, and then I can come back. And I'm much more supported there than if I'm just letting myself drop backwards. But again, it's still keeping the core engaged, keeping the ribs in. That's what we really have to be mindful of when we're going back, is not splaying that rib cage open. Keeping that all contracted, lifting up tall and releasing back. So we're gonna try that position now, where we lift, nose and chin, slight high release, and then coming back up. Good, and again, lift. Beautiful, and back. How's that feeling, Linda?
Good.
Yeah?
Good. Yeah, good.
Look like
I have a tendency to do this.
yeah.
And this opens it up a lot. Like it helps.
Totally. Yeah, I'm like that too. I totally sit like this all the time, which is hilarious.
It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm very open and present when I'm in dance or like in a dance class, but I am terrible for this when I'm not on. So I totally feel that. So here's where I want you to go from here with this, Linda, and we'll do this together, but you'll be in control of yourself. We have these 4 positions we've worked on now. So we had the forward, we had the side bend the opposite direction, and then the high release back. So we're just going to start to move in each of these directions whenever you would like. So you might do 2 forward and then do 2 backwards and then 1 to the right and then go forwards again. You can pick any side you want to go to, and you can go as many times as you would like to go.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So picking your high position, my cat just went flying by, and then letting yourself release into what feels good. We're just gonna play with this idea for a minute or 2, just letting ourselves release.
I can't remember if I'm supposed to use my hands.
No, for now you can just let your hands.
You can just okay.
Let them drip down. Letting yourself open and release. One of the other things that I talk to my students about with high release, so the one to the back, you should be able to have a conversation when you're there. Like you shouldn't feel like your voice is restrained. So if you're back there and you try and talk and you can't get it out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good indicator. It doesn't sound like there's any struggle of airflow or getting pushed out. So that's another really good indicator that you're releasing back nicely. Excellent. How are you feeling with that so far?
Good, because I don't move my neck a lot because I find my mobility on the neck, like even to turn this, sometimes it's very, it's stiff and this is helping.
Let's slide our chairs out of the way and let's keep building on this. So now what I'm going to start to do, and it can be completely up to you whether you prefer to do your pliés parallel with your feet together or in turn out. Either or is fine. But what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to start doing pliés.
Yeah.
And again, I'm picking whatever direction I feel like going in those bends. So I can choose any way I want to go. The high release feels so good here when you get a good relationship between the lower body and the upper body. And again, you might go a specific direction more than once. You might spend extra time somewhere. Still thinking of that teapot that's pouring out as we go in each direction. Good stuff. So where you can kind of start to play from here now is thinking about if my head was a paintbrush and I'm using these positions that we've learned to draw. So I'm kind of connecting my head in different directions now. You might even stray from the 4 original positions. You might dig to the corner or let it flow back. Your feet can start to explore and relax as well. So you may not want to be in that first position anymore. You might want to try a wider stance or something closer together. But remembering that if you get lost or you feel unsure in a negative way, because sometimes feeling unsure in our improv can be a really good thing. But if you're feeling unsure, you always have those 4 home positions to come back to.
Right.
Yeah. So I really like to, once I'm feeling comfortable here, I end up working through a deep second position a lot of the time. So I'll open my legs really wide when I'm working through this and kind of think about maybe how my feet can take me forwards or backwards as I'm hitting these. Ooh. Really letting the head move.
Make it look so easy and smooth.
Well, I've been doing this stuff for a really, really long time, but also you look fabulous doing it. Like you don't look uncomfortable or unsure. Right now you look like you're staying pretty within the stuff that I've taught you, but you literally just learned this. So like, this is a great thing. These kinds of exercises are awesome to come back to because they work your technique and they work your creative side. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like a double edge. You're getting 2 for 1 with an exercise like this. And so if I want to continue,
stretches.
Pardon?
So they're good stretches.
Oh yeah. So if you want to even keep going with this exercise, what you can kind of do, I will, once I'm like really going super big with it and my head is moving and my arms are moving, I'll freeze, like I'll literally put myself on pause. So if I'm going and I'm going and I'm going and I'm thinking about dropping and moving, and then I'll pause, and then I'll think about finding one of those 4 positions again, and then I'll start moving again and going, and I'll pause, and then I'll think about finding a different one of those 4 positions and coming back in. So we can all, like I said before, we can always be doing things that come back to home. Yeah. Do you want to do? Yeah. Do you want to do? So I have a flexibility certification that I have a couple of modules under my belt, and they're really great for injury prevention and just like understanding what your body needs and stretches. And I had noticed you said you get tension in your neck a lot. So I have a great one for opening up shoulders and the neck if you want to do that before I let you go.
Sure, that would be great.
Yeah. Do you have a wall space available?
Right now?
By wall space, I'll show you what I'm working with here.
Sure.
All you need is like I use my door. You literally just need enough space that you can put your hand on the wall like this. So even if there is a bookshelf or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Just, okay.
Perfect.
Okay, well, I can see you, so.
Yeah, as long as you can see me, that's perfect. I'm just gonna talk at you first facing this way because when we actually do the exercise, we're gonna start facing away from one another. Okay. So the starting position when we're facing the wall is our thumb up towards the ceiling and my palm, my wrists are in line with my shoulder, okay? Yeah. So just watch me for a second. I'm gonna put it in that position there, and then I'm gonna take my feet and walk myself away from the wall. So my hand is still on the wall with my thumb facing the ceiling right now.
Right. So you're opening up.
Exactly. And when I'm in that position there, you're gonna hear me say shoulder forward. So it means like if my hand is up on the wall like that, I want you to take your shoulder and literally pretend you're trying to push it down to the ground. And then,
really?
Yeah, and then if I say open it up to the ceiling, you want to think the opposite where you rotate it up towards the ceiling.
Okay.
Right?
I'm just bringing you closer to me.
Yeah, no problem. This stretch is mind-blowing, honestly. It changed my life.
Oh, yeah. No, it seems good. Okay.
Okay, so thumb up towards the ceiling. My wrist is in line with my shoulder. I start facing my hand, and then I'm going to take my feet and walk myself away as far as I personally can go. It might be different for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to think now about rolling that shoulder forward towards the ground. Excellent. And you're going to do 3 pliés with that. So we're going to bend and stretch. Just make sure you're breathing and taking your time with this. Bend, stretch. One more time, bend.
And the shoulders should still be forward, right?
Yes, you got it. Now we're going to take that shoulder and open it up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to take 3 pliés again. Bend and stretch. And as we're doing this, I'll just say, if you're feeling any tingliness or numbness in the arm, that's okay. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I feel it's tingling for me.
Yeah, tingling is fine. As long as you're not feeling a pinching in the elbow, you're fine.
Oh yeah, no, there's no pinching. Okay, that's good.
So then shoulder rolls forward again, and then we're going, so like towards the floor.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do 3 pliés again, but I'm dropping my head now down, and then I'm gonna look all the way up to the ceiling. And down, up to the ceiling. Last time, down, and up to the ceiling. Then we open that shoulder up one last time, and this time as we do our pliés, we drop our ear to our shoulder. You're gonna feel a yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, isn't that bananas?
Yeah.
And so you'll switch it each time you do your pliés. You'll let it go back and forth. Woo.
Oh.
And so the stretch is done, but make sure you walk yourself back towards the wall first, and then take your hand off.
Okay.
And there you go.
Wow.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah. The funny thing is, like, I'm wearing a baggy sweater right now, so it's hard to tell. But if you look at yourself in a mirror when you're doing this exercise in between, your one shoulder right now, I can totally see the one you just worked is down lower.
It's lower.
Yep.
Yeah, and like it feels that way too.
Yeah.
That's great. So should you do, like, could you do this once a day? Just.
Yes, you absolutely could do this one every day.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Okay, let's do the other side.
Yeah. I'm just gonna turn you around. So.
Hey, Amanda.
Hey, I did this one with you. That was so cool.
Pardon?
I did this one with you guys. It's such a good stretch.
Oh, isn't it excellent?
Great.
I love this one.
Well, I tried the door one, which is similar, but I can never get it to stretch in the right spot for me. So this one was really good.
It's nice. It hits so many different angles with the movement of the head too.
Yeah.
It's a good one. Okay, so we're facing our wall, our shoulders in line with our wrist, and we're gonna walk ourselves away as far as our body will let us go. And we're thinking of rolling the shoulder down towards the floor. We're taking those 3 pliés. So we're bending, stretching, bending, stretching, and then stretch. Open that shoulder up towards the ceiling. Same thing, 3 pliés, bend and stretch. Bend and stretch. Last time, bend and stretch. Our shoulder goes forward again. And then this time our head is dropping down to the floor, up to the ceiling, down, up, and last one, down, up. Excellent. Open that shoulder up towards the ceiling, and our ear is dropping to our shoulder. And then switch to the other shoulder. One last time. Nice stuff. Walk yourself back in. Shake that out. So, first class.
Great. Thank you. That was wonderful.
No problem. I'm so glad. Thanks for coming and dancing today.
Yes, I had great. I feel so much better.
Good. I know. I feel the same way. I get to, every time I do this, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like what is life? It's great. So yeah, hopefully I'll see you again next week.
You will.
Good. Great.
Yes, and I'll practice that.
Yeah, no problem.
And I didn't get your name.
Oh,
You're Alyssa.
It's Alyssa.
It's Alyssa. I see it here now. Sorry. So I want to remember. Thank you, Alyssa. It's wonderful.
No problem, Linda. It was great getting to meet you today and dance with you, and I look forward to when we get to do it again.
I'll see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.